Playing any golf?
Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Danvers Zoning Board of Appeals. We are now in session. I would ask that you silence your cell phones or mobile devices or turn them off so we're not interrupted. I'm going to start by introducing the zoning board members. Down to my right is Jeff Sauer. Our clerk tonight is Ken Scholes. To my left is Ken Jarvinen. And all the way down the end is Corrine Doherty and myself, John Bowner, as the chairman. Here from our planning division is our planning director, Mr. Brian Zakelli, over there to assist us in everything we do. Board members, you were all in receipt of minutes dated November 27th. If there's no further discussion on those minutes, if I could get a motion, please.
I move that we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
I got a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Folks, I'm going to explain. We have just 4 cases tonight. We have 1 continued. I'll explain how this works for those of you who haven't been here before. Our clerk will read your application. At that point, we ask that you come up to the microphone, identify yourself, present your case, what it is you want to do. From there, once you have laid it all out for us, we'll bounce it back up to the zoning board members. We'll go through each person, and they will ask questions to try to find out more information. At that point, once the board has exhausted all its questions, we will come out to the public for any public comment or questions. If you have questions, I ask that they are asked through the chair and not directly of the applicant, and we'll decide what goes out to the applicant or not. From there, we'll close the portion, the public portion, for comment and question, and then it will come back to the board members for deliberation. And this is an open meeting, so you'll hear our deliberations here right before you. At that point, you'll get an idea, how the board is leaning on your case, if you have the votes, if you don't have the votes, if we would like changes. And at that point, we'll tell you what your options are. Usually the 3 options are you can continue, if we're looking for changes or you think things can change, we will take a vote, or you can withdraw your application without prejudice. And I'll just remind you, if we do take a vote and you're denied, you must wait 2 years before coming back to us. And I think that's it. And with that said, Mr. Clerk, first continued case.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our first case is 55 Brooksby Village Way, Walmart, Route 114A. Request a variance under Section 9.3.B.2 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaw to allow at most 21 storage containers to be on site each year between September and January. Request is made by WS Asset Management, Inc., care of Jennifer Hodes, docket, 23-5051. Mr. Chairman, we're in receipt of a letter dated December 6th. Please accept this email as Walmart's request to continue the hearing scheduled for December 11th, 2023, without testimony to the next available hearing date. We are requesting this continuance in order to complete the materials discussed with the board in the last hearing. It's signed Philip Mackey of Mackey & Mackey LLC. And our next meeting is January 8th of 2024.
Could I get a motion, please?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
And
second that.
And second. I've got a motion to continue this to January 8th of 2024. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay.
Our next case is 13 Walcott Road, Zone C3. Request for a use variance under Table 1 of allowable uses to continue operating a landscaping contractor business on-site where the use is not allowed in the C3 zone. The property contains 9,712 square feet. Request is made by Michael Cioli, docket 23-5053. Sorry if I messed your name up.
Help us out if you could. Just pronounce for us.
Truly,
Truly.
Michael.
Michael, hi. Tell us what it is you'd like to do.
So currently, it's a HVAC contractor that's listed as a use, so we just wanted to switch it, the zoning, planning board, Georgia wanted to switch it to landscaping use. We've been renting currently for,
Who wants to switch it?
well, I went to, it's just a use variance to switch it to landscaping.
Okay, you're making the request, though?
Yeah, yeah.
Correct. And, but you're not the owner of the property?
No, he's the HVAC contractor is the owner currently, so I'm in the process of purchasing the property, so we were gonna switch it to.
Okay, but, so tell us a little bit more. What is it, what is allowed there now? I think I understand through talking with our planning director, what is allowed there now and what you're looking to do are different. What is allowed there now
So
was
just-
done by a variance originally.
Yeah, so the variance has been there, I think I have it here, from 2009 or from 1985 was when they first built that garage.
Okay?
And then we're just continuing the same. It's just going to be parking trucks and operating out of there. No sales of product or anything.
Okay. And, is that it? I mean, anything else you want to present to us?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we'll ask some questions. I guess, just to clarify for the board, so this would be a change of use, I guess.
Use variance,
Because
right.
it's currently, there's a decision, although I guess it's not in, I guess, let me go with the Brian. So Brian, I know there was a decision, but the only thing we have in the docket is, that is from 1985, is to construct a building closer to the rear lot line than permitted. So maybe if you can expand on why Michael is before us.
Sure. Let me get, so in 1985, let me get the docket history. So, it looks like the docket history is not fully complete,
Okay, that's what confused me a little bit.
but there was a variance for the HVAC business to exist.
So that variance exists, it's just not on this?
Yes.
Okay.
So that variance was given. It's been operating as an HVAC business, essentially parking trucks and equipment, but no, just that. And there was a sale that was imminent, a refinance of some kind, and basically the bank was asking about this use. And we said, well, they're not actually allowed to do landscaping. And they said, oh, well, that's news to us. Let's get this straightened out. And that's why they're here.
Okay. All right, that makes more sense. We'll start down there with you, Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, the previous use that was granted for the variance, the organization, the HIVAC company, was just parking trucks
Yeah,
in the building and maybe outside the building?
correct, yeah.
Okay, so when we think of a landscape contracting yard, we think of piles of mulch and branches and a lot of other things that can go with a contractor's yard. Are you telling us that you really are just primarily going to park your trucks for your business here and not do any business with customers or sell any material or stockpile anything on the property?
No sales of any sort. I mean, possibly like extra pavers on pallets, but no sales of mulch or sand or, any product,
Okay.
associated with
And you would
landscaping.
take that as a condition of the variance?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I have no other questions.
Thank you. Ken?
Yeah, that's the only question that I have, is piles of mulch and stone dust.
We see
and all
some
that.
pretty ragged-looking
Yeah.
contractor yards.
I understand.
And I know you're not going to sell product, but I mean, are you going to have that there for your use so that you can fill up your trucks and go bring it
No,
to
we
your
don't-
clients?
No, we don't operate.
You're not going to do that?
Yeah, we pick up or have it delivered.
No further questions, thanks.
Thank you. Ken J.
So, how many trucks are parked there now?
I have,
For the HVAC company?
well, he's dwindling down, so there's only, 2 or 3 from what the HVAC company had, and we have 4 total.
Okay. So, what other equipment are you gonna have?
Usually the equipment's on site, or I have another yard in North Reading that stores, the trailers or any bobcats or any other machinery.
Or like, what the trimmings, shredders, or whatever they call the,
We do mostly like construction, so it's like, bobcat or like a mini excavator, smaller machines, nothing large.
okay, that's all I got.
Thank you, Ken. Corinne?
How long have you been located at that property?
I've been renting, I think, for about 13 years now.
So has it been 13 years since the HVAC company has been out of business, or did you coexist?
We coexisted.
And so now the HVAC business wants to exit, sell the property to you, and then you'll just continue running your business?
Correct.
Okay. And you said you have another location?
Yeah, it's just in North Reading. It's closer to my house in Linfield.
Okay. And this location will be your office, though, correct?
Yeah, there's an office inside of the HVAC company side.
And what will happen to the residential unit?
That'll still be in operation.
Okay, is it rented, and does that mean you'll be the landlord?
I would, yes.
Okay. Okay, no further questions, thank you.
Thanks, Corinne. I'm going to call you Michael because I don't want to trash your last name. I visited the site yesterday. I guess I'm a little unclear. I know I went to 13, but there's a parking lot to the right of 13. Is that the parking lot we're talking about?
To the left of 13.
Oh, okay. So the storage container that's to the right and the large trailer that's not you? That's the,
No, that's the, he takes care of the property, that big commercial building across the street.
okay. So I know you, so the HVAC portion of this, if this gets approved, will no longer exist.
He's
Correct.
retiring, yeah.
There'll be no vehicles associated with that business.
No.
And you said 2 different things. You want to park 4 vehicles, but you also want to store pavers and pallets, on pallets?
Well, if we have extra pavers from a job, we usually bring them back, and they're like in the back of the site, and then we try to get rid of them, but try not to
Okay, so
store.
you're asking for more than just vehicles?
Well, mostly just the vehicles. I mean,
Well, all right, but just, we can't go on mostly, so.
yeah.
Ask
So, yeah, I
us
mean,
what you
I would
want.
just store vehicles that, no materials, if that's,
Well, I guess let me go to Brian. If he's asking for material, does that change what we've advertised?
No, but the rest of the bylaw obviously is still in effect. So if you're going to have any type of outdoor storage, you would need to screen it somehow, whether through fencing or some, like everything else is still in effect that you may or may not need relief for. But certainly you can't give relief that they haven't applied for.
And he's only applied for vehicles, so,
He applied to operate. He did not apply for vehicles of, yeah, he applied to operate.
okay.
A landscaping business.
Okay, so, and how many parking spots are there? Because I looked at the wrong parking lot, so.
I mean, I don't know, I guess there'd probably be over 20, I would guess. I don't know how you'd, because it's kind of like a big open lot.
Okay, and in the house that's on the lot, number 13, they use some of those spots as well?
No, they have off-street parking to the left. Do you want me to?
Yeah, if you could.
Driveway here for 2 or 3 cars.
That's your lot there, okay. Okay, all right, I think that answers, and so this is really because the bank called the town, looking to understand if you were zoned properly for this, and the town couldn't say yes, basically.
Yeah, well, they basically said it was an HVAC. It just has to be listed as landscaping. So,
Okay.
just want to change the use.
I think I've got it. Any other questions from the board? No. Is anybody here from the public that would like to speak on 13 Walcott Road? Yep, Mr. Bradstreet, come on up. If you could just yield the mic to him.
Bill Bradstreet, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 1. My question would be, if he's going to store stones on pallets in the yard, how large an area would be used for that if he's not supposed to store? I know he said it was temporarily, but how much of an area would be needed for him to store those if he's not supposed to have that kind of business property or property on the lot? And can you limit the number of pallets or the area that can be used? Just a question.
That's a good one. I'll go back to Brian on this. We can limit it, I guess,
We can
right?
put a condition.
Yeah, so, Mr. Michael, if you could come back. What do you think your maximum situation is for pallets? Because that's what you'd want to ask us for, and then we'll ask to condition this,
I mean,
this variance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to store any pallets there. It's just, if
Well, we
had
don't want to
extra-
hinder you. If you think it's something that's going to, what we don't want to have is, we give you this use variance to have trucks,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, it's trucks and material.
Yeah.
Right? So then you're in violation. So if you think material is going to be there, 1 or 2 pallets, 3 pallets, whatever, we'll condition this decision that will include that.
I mean, I'd say 5 max then.
All right. So, board okay with that? Any questions regarding that request?
No?
Okay. Anyone else here from the public on 13 Walcott? Okay, hearing none, I'll close the public portion, and we'll deliberate. We'll start down there with you, Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Seeing that he's been here for 13 years with his trucks, and the HVAC company has been there also, and they're leaving, I don't think this is particularly any more detrimental use than what's already exists. I will vote for this,
And with the condition?
with the condition that we limit the storage.
Okay, Excellent, thank you. Ken?
Yeah, and I'll vote for this. Like Jeff said, he's been there a while, and we didn't hear from any of the neighbors, so I'm okay with it.
Okay. Ken? Jay?
Yeah, I'll vote for this too. It's mostly like a commercial / industrial type of environment down there, so yeah, it's fitting, so.
Yeah.
I'm in favor.
Thank you. Corinne?
Yes, I'm in favor too, and I also agree with Ken and Jeff. If there had been any violations, we would have heard it from the neighbors, and we didn't, so it seems like everything's been run properly down there. So I will vote for this.
Thank you, Corinne. And I too see no problem with this. I didn't look at the right lot, but I did visit out there, and I think Mr. Zacchelli made it pretty clear what transpired here and what brought you before us. So we are giving you a use variance to park for landscaping vehicles, then no longer have the HVAC, with the condition you wouldn't have any more than 5 pallets worth of material stored on the site at any time. So, with that said, if I can get a motion from the board, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant a use variance under Table 1 of allowable uses to operate a landscaping contractor business on the site where the use is not allowed in the C3 zone, and that no more than 5 pallets be stored at any one time. This condition does not affect other properties or structures in the same zoning district. A literal enforcement of the zoning bylaw would involve substantial hardship to the applicant, and granting this variance will not create a substantial detriment to the public good and will not nullify or derogate from the intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw.
I'll second that.
I've got a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. You're all set.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Very quickly, I just wanted to make sure. So we have vehicles, trailers, bobcats, and mini excavators, but then I had a max of 5 pallets, and then I wanted to put a condition saying that as long as vehicular circulation for the residential unit is maintained without any hindrance, because to be able to swing a whole bunch of material around the back, I think will be difficult, and if it's 1 or 2 pallets, it's probably not going to be a big deal, but I want to make it very clear in the decision that it can't hinder that residential unit.
Michael, come on, back up. All right, so does that make sense? That we're going to put that language in the decision?
Yeah, but the house and the garage, there's 2 different sides of the building.
As long
Okay.
as it doesn't hinder the
Hinder the
vehicular circulation, it's fine. It's,
Okay.
yep, I just want to make sure that it's memorialized in the decision.
Okay,
Yep.
so we're going to add that condition as well?
Yep, I would like to.
And I'll take a vote on that. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go on to our next case.
Okay, our next case is 107 Andover Street, 114A. Requested dimensional variance under section 37.6.B, temporary signs in order to erect temporary signage on mesh screening during construction of an approved addition renovation where 32 square feet is the maximum and 454 square feet is proposed. Request is made by Herb Chambers Companies, care of Jonathan Feeder, docket 23-5054.
All right, good evening.
Hi.
Yeah, right into the mic if you could.
Bring it down a little.
Hi, I'm Allie Parker.
You can bring it down a little.
Shorter
Right
here.
to you.
I'm Allie Parker. I'm actually with AMCON, the general contractor, so we're actually doing the construction there. And so I'm just here on behalf of AMCON and Herb Chambers as far as the signage and getting something posted for them while we do construction over the next few months here. Oh, and John Fetter's here with me on the line. Excellent. Here we are. That's the signage guy right there.
John, you said John's online with us?
Yes.
Okay.
John Fetter. Mhm.
And you're Ally Parker.
That is correct.
Thank you. Tell us what you like to do.
Yeah, so we've got, put 3 names here on our scrim, which is currently, or would be on fencing in front of the storefront of the building. So it's got Herb Chambers, Amcon, and Regent. Herb Chambers is, obviously the building. Amcon's the builder, Regent's the architect. We took off all the signage off the front of the building, so really you wouldn't know, it's obviously a car dealership. There's quite a few in the area, but there isn't anything on the building currently that reads Herb Chambers. The current pylon sign also doesn't have anything with Herb Chambers on it. It's just the brands that he represents at this location. There is a posted sign there, as you mentioned, that is within the square footage allowance. But we'd like to add this to the front. This signage, this scrim behind the fence, there's, we've done demo, we've done steel work. It's very messy, and so we're just trying to, keep it clean and not make it be attractive for, anyone to come in there or make it look like a nice clean storefront for them while we do construction. And I will say, it's actually, so the signage, the fencing is up now, and it's going to be up for probably the next 2-3 weeks, and then we're actually turning over a portion of the exterior phase. So the fencing will probably come down until the end of February. We're waiting for our exterior ACM panels. They're in fabrication, and they won't be ready until the end of February. So the fencing will very likely come down along the storefront. We'll, put this signage very likely somewhere on the front of the building, just so contractors and customers know what's going on and know the location, but the fencing and kind of the orientation of everything has been ebbing and flowing and will continue to do so until April 15th, when construction is complete.
Okay, anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'll turn, I guess, I didn't site visit this one, because I find 114 this time of year to be
Yes. quite
not a
busy.
good time.
Yes.
But can you tell me, is this already up?
So I currently have standing just the Herb Chambers portion of it. From Herb Chambers outward is just blue. And that was just really due to safety and just kind of making it look like,
All right, but we do have some signs up already.
You do have some Herb Chambers signs up
No,
there?
you do.
I do, yes.
Okay.
I do have some Herb Chambers signs up there right
All
now,
right.
yes.
Without permit.
Yes, correct. We've been going back and forth with the city. I've got the posted sign up. The actual square footage of the two Herb Chambers logos is within the square footage requirement, so I removed the remainder of the verbiage of Amcon and Regent while we were working through this.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over for questions.
I'm sorry, really quick. The square footage I put up currently was a 1-for-1 square footage replacement of what was up before we demoed it, so that they had the same quantity of Herb Chambers verbiage now and then.
Okay. Anything else?
No?
Corinne, we'll start down there with you.
Thank you. I actually did go by and go in today.
Okay.
And it is under construction.
Yes.
So, and I noticed that you have a sign saying we are open under construction.
Yes.
And that's really the sign that I noticed, and not so much the Herb Chamber sign. So I guess my first question is, obviously, you're going to have to keep that open during construction, during the whole portion of construction, and that sign is kind of at the top.
Yes.
So, and I do have to say, if you didn't have that up, a lot of people would probably think you weren't.
Yeah, so from an operational standpoint and just kind of we're hearing every single day from the store team, people think we're closed. People think that's not, we can't come in here, we're not open, it's not safe, it's not, so we've been really trying to do everything we can to deliver the message that we're under construction, but there's half of the interior is open now, and we're going to be switching that over. The other half will be open after the new year.
And do you have people, obviously entering and driving around the building in a different way? It was kind of very crowded when I was there, so I kind of drove in, kind of looked around and then left. But do you have a different flow of customers? And where exactly during peak times are you parking all of these cars because of the construction?
Yeah, so actually on the second or the next attachment, I think it kind of more clearly shows. So right now for phase 1 of construction, the customers are going through that green box there. So you saw we had a plywood pedestrian walkway. That's where they're directing traffic of customers when you get onto site. In theory, the way that site is supposed to work, that first entrance when you're going down 114, that is supposed to be the entry, and then you're supposed to go out the other way. They struggle with that. A lot of, kind of customers and even deliveries and stuff being there, we've determined that people kind of pick whatever entrance is easiest for them. So in theory, the service guys are supposed to go in the closest when you're going down 114, and they're supposed to just take a hard left and go, over there. So that's kind of the path of travel for that. Same with customers. They come in that same entrance and they park right there in the front. So that's where customers are supposed to be. We're using a fenced area kind of off the side a little bit where we're adding a transformer. So we've taken up a few spaces there to park some of our contractor vehicles and other things like that. But in theory, pedestrian access is right where the green is, and then the parking is still the row of parking spaces right in front of the building, and the ones that are right behind that are along 114.
Okay. And you also said that you would be taking the temporary fencing down soon because you're waiting for panels that won't be in. What is it going to look like when you take the temporary fencing down?
Yeah, so it's going to have all new sidewalk in, and then the phase 1 that we're turning over, which is this side right here, is going to have, it's got completely replaced all new glass, and so you'll be able to, they want to take the fencing down so you can see into it. You can see the cars, you can see the sales folks in there. So that'll be kind of an open, it'll look kind of like it did before. It'll have new finishes. It'll just be, the skin will be wrapped in that black ABB barrier that's there now. And then the other side, we're thinking about taking down the fence, may or may not, but that's also going to have new sidewalk, new glass, that, and it's going to still be closed. That side's under construction. So that's why we're thinking we might put this signage in front of those windows just so that it's kind of clear of people, they're utilizing the more right space of, plan right of the building.
So when these panels finally arrive?
Yes.
Will you have to put the temporary fencing back up?
Yeah, but the install for those is going to be 3 to 4 weeks, and they will be, just as they are now, kind of just right on that sidewalk line, and it's just really so that, when the lifts and things like that, when we're doing that work during the day for customers, there's just, there's no safety issues or anything like that. So it's to protect the public.
Okay. And then you also mentioned that one of the reasons why you want to have the mesh signage is for safety reasons at night?
Yeah, just, people, they see into it, they see behind there, I'm gonna get in there, they might see some materials or some equipment that they wanna maybe, get in there. I mean, the fence is secured, it's locked, but it's, it's a 6-foot tall fence, so it just kind of doesn't allude to anything, or it's not an open space, it's not somewhere for people to get in and out of, so we just try to keep it contained. And
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Corinne. Ken J.
I have no questions.
Thanks. Mr. Scholes.
Thank you. I get what you want to do with the fencing signs. You said there's no signs on the building now because you're under construction.
Yeah.
So the signs that are going back on the building when you're done?
Yes.
Same exact signs that are on there now, or it's going to be a whole different setup?
So they've filed already for the signage that's going to go back on the exterior of the building. It's the same branding as it was before, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and I believe it's like a Fiat or something like that.
Same sizes?
Same size, yeah, they just got new.
No further questions.
Thank you. Jeff.
Yeah, Ken just answered my question, so thank you.
Okay. And so I heard April 15th, but I guess my question's, so how long, wait, let me back up. So these blue mesh signs with your logos on them and whatnot, customers would park in front of those right
Yes.
now?
Yeah, so it's
So wouldn't cars block that?
pretty much, yeah.
Well, so there's no value while you're open to these signs. This is more like overnight or at night?
Well, so construction starts at 6, so that's the majority of time when we're getting our folks on site, getting deliveries and things like that. Service opens at 7, but the actual sales doesn't open until I think 8 or 9. So yeah, we're benefiting from that verbiage at that time. And then we have at the corner of each side, we've got, I don't know if you've seen just larger signs that say contractors this way, sales this way, things like that. But you're correct. A lot of the day it's
All right, well,
so.
I mean, you're asking for, I think, what was it, 454 square feet of signs. where we allow 32. It's quite a jump, right? And I feel like you're asking for it open-ended. I heard a date of April 15th, but I guess I want some more concrete request out of you. How long do you see having these temporary signs?
So our construction is over April 15th. So AMCON will be removed from the site, and it will just be the Herb Chambers. I think their sign.
So you'll take a condition to remove this
100%. Yep.
by, we'll say, end of April?
100%. Yep.
Okay.
And probably before that, because we'll remove our fence. They'll put their.
Well,
signs up
we,
and turn it.
you know, things happen, right?
Yeah, yeah,
We could
that's
get,
very true.
we could get
We could get a
50,
terrible one, and
55
then,
inches of
yes, and
snow,
then
right?
here again, yes, that's correct.
And they are already there, but they're gonna change? Or what you have up is just gonna stay up? You're just here asking for permission?
I just have the Herb Chambers verbiage up there now. The AMCON and Regent is not up there. It's just blue right now, just so it's just Herb
So
Chambers.
do they get like spray painted on there in place, or does a whole new mesh get put up?
It's just another panel I would put over the existing
I
door.
see. Okay. I don't think I have any other questions. We'll go out to the public on this. This is for 107 Andover Street, Herb Chambers. Anybody here? Okay.
Mr. Bradstreet has his hand up.
That hand's gonna have to come up higher, sir. Okay. Come on up. I can't see that far back there.
Again, Bill Bradstreet, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 1. Unless I misunderstood, there's two ways into this lot, and I thought it sounded like there was a safety issue that perhaps a sign enter only and exit only, like I've seen in other
Yeah,
buildings.
they're not really here for that,
Okay, well,
but it's a good suggestion. I think
And it's a
the directional, it sounds like there's gonna be a sign package once they finish construction to come before us again.
okay.
This
so
is temporary.
so between now and April 15th, it's
I think
we'll
it's
see
done
them
that way already, though, so. Well, hold on. So, you're wondering if there can be directional signs?
I'm just concerned with the safety.
Sure.
We've already mentioned how bad 114 is.
Oh, yeah.
The state is trying to relabel the road, grind it, whatever. That's bad enough. And I can picture someone going in when they should be going out.
In the outdoor?
It's the dangerousness
Sure.
of the...
Well, we'll ask the applicant of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Parker, I think it was, right? If you could, so is there directional signage in the two entrances you speak of, or is there not?
There is, which is, it's kind of ignored, but yes, there is a small sign here that says entrance, and then a small sign here that says.
Okay, so there is,
There is, it's just,
it's not,
it's kind of small.
it's not
yeah.
really followed either,
Yeah,
and it's hard to
not
see.
necessarily followed.
Well, and you mentioned you're gonna be before us again for a sign package. I
Well,
would,
I can clarify that. They were before us previously, but not and there were directional signs, and this was the one with the Jeep Mountain
Yes.
Yeah.
rock
Yeah.
formation
I
deal.
what is it?
They're gonna have a mounted,
Have a mountain and a Jeep climbing up.
They're actually fully permitted for their. It's actually a
Okay, so
special permit.
they don't have a sign package coming into us then?
They do not.
Currently.
They do not. They already
already
went
had it.
through that. They already went through that. And then this was in addition to everything that we found, was that these are essentially additional signs that they could be plain, and if they really want them, they just went through a whole sign thing. They should have applied for the temporary signage at that time.
At that point, okay.
And we're just being consistent.
Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense. I guess the last question I'll ask, and then I'll close it. But you did mention that you were going to be bringing something before us. Is that inaccurate? Down the road, once the building is complete, for additional signage, or no?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
No, okay. All right, very good. Any other public comment? Your questions? Yeah, go ahead,
I just
Corinne.
have one question for the building
Yeah,
department.
Brian, yeah, go ahead.
She said the construction starts at 6 a.m. isn't all construction not supposed to start
7.
until 7?
You guys aware of that? Let's get clarification, though. I believe that is our bylaw, right? 7 a.m.?
I don't know. I believe if there certainly can't be any running of engines, but if people get there before and they're working on interior, I don't know if that's an issue. I think it really has to do with outdoor work, but short answer is I don't know.
Okay.
Let's start there. But I can find that out.
Okay.
I believe it is 7 a.m.,
I
but,
think so, too.
And we can modify that. I mean, that's
Yep.
no problem. It's just
okay.
getting everybody there so they can get from the traffic. So we can not have any sound on until 7. That's
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Additional questions from the board? If not, I'll close and we'll go to deliberations. We'll start down there with you, Corinne.
I will vote for this. As I said, I think any signage and anything you can do, I guess, to prevent people from actually seeing what's going on behind is actually a good thing. I will vote for this.
Thanks, Corinne. And Ken?
I'll vote for this, too. Screening the construction is certainly a good thing, I think. So, yeah.
Ken Scholes.
I'll vote for this as long as we have in that it's out by the end of April.
Yes. And Jeff?
Yes, I hate all signage, but since this is temporary, I'll vote for this as well.
I too, as long as we have a condition to remove this temporary signage by the end of April 2024, and you'll agreed to take that as a condition. So if I could get a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant dimensional variance under Section 37.6B of the Danvers Zoning Bylaw to erect temporary signage that measures 454 square feet, where only 32 feet is allowed, for temporary signage, and that this condition does not affect other properties or structures in the same zoning district. A literal enforcement of the zoning bylaw would involve substantial hardship to the applicant. Granting this variance will not create a substantial detriment to the public good and will not nullify or derogate from the intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, and all this signage will be down by April 30th.
I'll second.
I've got a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Very good. Good luck.
very much.
Thank you. All right. We'll cut
Moving
the
along,
gas here.
yes. Our next case is 1 Prentice Road. This is zoned R3. Request for a special permit under Section 9.2 to create an extended family living area on an undersized lot of 18,000 square feet, where 30,000 square feet is required. Additional relief is necessary as the proposed EFLA will be 944 square feet, where 750 square feet is allowed by right, and internal shared living space is required. Request is made by Valerie Langonakis Gerontis. Close? Docket 23-5055.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Valerie Gerontis.
Pull that microphone right up where we can hear you.
Sure. I just want to make I talked to the architect. He made a mistake. It's 899 square feet because he had included the stairs. And he looked, so that 944 is including the stairs. He said without the stairs, it's 899.
So your edited application, you'd like to,
Yes, he said it was
and
going
what's
to
that
be
number again?
899,
899.
9 square feet, because he made a mistake. He added the stairs going up to it.
Okay. Go ahead. Tell us what it is you're looking to do besides oversize.
Yes, I'd like to add the EFLA. My daughter recently got married this summer, and I would like her to move into my house, and I would like to make an apartment for myself above the garage to move into. That way, I've lived in Danvers. We have businesses in Danvers. My sister lives in Danvers, too. She grew up in Danvers. I'd like to stay in Danvers. My house is a little bit too big for me now, and I would like my daughter just to move in, and as I'm growing older, she'll be there for me. As she's growing her family, I'd be there for her.
Built-in daycare.
Yep, and nursing home.
Okay. Anything else you want to present to us?
No, I think that was about it. I know that there was the common space was an issue.
Usually is.
Yeah, because, well, I know there's the shared laundry room that we were trying to do, it's really difficult, and also, I plan on growing old in this house, and that's why I need the additional square footage to have the potential for an elevator to go up. That way I could get into her house and my house, and the laundry room would be 2 floors down for me to get to, because it's in the basement of where my daughter's house will be, my current house.
Okay. Anything else you want to present?
No, we'll be sharing the garage, though. The garage will both be using that.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to the board for questions.
Sure.
Jeff, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any questions right now.
Okay. Ken?
I don't believe I have any questions. Thank you.
And Ken J.
So it looks like you're adding a front door. Where does that goes?
No, the front door stays the same. That's where it's currently there.
Okay. Looks like there's another door next to the garage.
Yep, that's already there right now. What it will be is,
Okay.
right now, that's stairs going up, so the door will be brought out further, and that will kind of be closed. So that will be like a shared, I mean, I could share that if you let me. But that's going to be a walkway up to my house right now. It's there now, it's just open, there's no door there.
Yeah, so it's going to lead up to the EFLA?
Nope. The
Oh.
EFLA will, the EFLA will lead up, there's going to be a door inside the garage to the left leading up, which is
Confused.
right there,
Okay, I see.
right there. That would lead up, and then there's going to be a door on the outside. And hopefully that would be the future elevator right there. So that way I could go in, take the elevator to go up.
So could that be a shared mudroom? Right,
I mean, it could be, or the one to the right could be a shared mudroom.
okay. I have no other questions.
Thank you, Ken. Corinne?
I thought in the literature, it said that, or your package or application, that there was some shared space. But if you enter the garage and go up the stairs, and then you're in your unit, how is there shared space? Where do you share?
Right, no, that's why I said that I was questioning that there's a problem with the shared space. What I was wondering is if the mudroom to the right as we go in could be considered shared space, that, we enter there. I mean, logically, I could enter through there or just use that space, but I guess you want it to go through their house to get up to my house? Is that what it is?
Well, no, but, I mean, I'm not telling you how to,
Right.
like, draw your plans.
Right,
but-
right.
But I thought that I had read that there was some sort of a common space. So, and you're right, if you enter from that, like, second door,
Right.
and it leads you to a mudroom, but
Right.
it doesn't connect to your unit, then it's not really shared space.
Right, that was my questioning, that's why I wasn't sure how the board would view it, I wasn't familiar, and then we tried to look into like the shared laundry room, but the architect is like, it's really difficult, because I'm up on the second, and the laundry room's all the way down in the basement. And I know the garage is shared, so we'll be going in through that together.
Well, then, if he can't figure out a way for you to share the laundry room, where does he have your laundry room now?
My laundry room is, if we could, second floor right there. It's right here. It's right there.
All right.
It's just like a
So you
little,
have, you have separate laundry in the EFLA?
yes, just a little, like a closet with a.
Like a
with
stackable
A
thing?
double stack. Hopefully I won't need to do that much
So I
laundry.
think Corinne, to help clarify, it sounds like there is no shared area.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
No. And also, it's now down to 899?
Yes.
So when you go upstairs, you basically, your unit, right, contains all the space that's above the garage?
Yes.
And that's what comprises the 899?
Correct. And there's a door right here. This is where the door is going to be. That will be leading into my daughter's house.
Oh, so you do have, from your unit?
Yes,
You
yes.
can get into her,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Second floor?
So,
on the second floor, correct.
so yeah, I had brought this to her attention that although you could, it's not necessarily shared space even with that door. This has come across the board several times, and but there's no necessarily like room or actual space that is shared. So I said, I think you kind of need to apply for this, and we need to have this discussion because it's a kind of a
I
borderline.
didn't know that door was there
It's
either.
basically the way it's situated right now, the garage is the only shared space. Full stop. So it's whether or not you feel comfortable with that, like, because as drawn right now, it's, the garage is the only shared space.
Right. And then the connection to my house to her house is that second floor door that
But that's
leads-
just a connection, not shared space.
No,
just
but I
a
mean,
doorway.
technically, if I needed to, I could make a little mudroom between there and, you know, I could pull this out a little bit more and have this as a shared space if it needs to be. But I plan on, that's where the bedrooms are, so that's where, like, when she has kids, my door would be open and could hear the kids and just make it easier for me too. Or I could close the door and not hear the kids.
And where exactly is the main house's laundry room?
Basement. It's all the way down
Oh,
in the
okay, so
basement.
it's in
It's
the
underneath, yeah, it actually goes, it's under the garage, like to the, not under the garage, it's under the house. It's all the way in the basement.
Did your architect ever think of having you actually enter from that other door, that like second front door, and then have stairs going up that way? That way, it would kind of be like a second set for, like, your daughter's portion of the house, and it would lead you up to the EFLA. That way, you wouldn't have to have a set of stairs in the garage?
But then there's no room for the elevator, for future use of the elevator.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because I kind of want, because I plan on this being my last house, and I kind of want to foresee everything to be able to, or if I, you know, can't get up the stairs and I want to make it big enough for, knock on wood, wheelchairs, whatever, to be, and the door that goes in right now, the front door goes, you open it up, it's the living room, and there's stairs to the left that go all the way up.
Okay.
But that would be, you know, for now it would be okay, but later on it would be a little bit of an issue.
Okay. But when you enter that door and it's a mudroom, there are no stairs there, not even for your daughter's
Yeah,
portion?
the second door that's right next to the garage, yep, there's stairs there. There's stairs that lead up. That's like the side entrance that I go in that has like five stairs. Leads
Okay.
up, and it leads up to my front door the side door right now. That's the door that I usually go into.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think, let me recap. There's a second door to the left, very close to the garage.
Yep,
You enter that door currently,
yes,
it has 4 or 5 stairs to the right that take you in your main house.
yeah, I go up the stairs, and right now, there's no door there, so it's like an opening, that it's covered, like a covered opening. So he wanted to put a door to close that, so that's not a covered opening, so
Oh, I
it's,
see. So it's just a
yeah, right now it's like.
breezeway,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
an open breezeway.
Right,
It's
right,
not
right.
enclosed.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. So he wants to make it enclosed. That way the kids can enter
Okay.
from the garage.
Oh,
Right
I
now,
thought, and I'm going to go out to our planning director, I thought part of the upper was no 2 front doors. Pretty sure that's one of our stipulations.
it's
Yeah,
it's
it's-
existing.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, so it should resemble it's not so much
Single-family
2
home,
front doors,
right?
it should resemble a single-family
Yeah.
home, which this does. You'll see many, and it's an existing door. but-
So I would say the opposite, that we would want this door not there.
Okay,
The idea of the EFLA is, the spirit of the EFLA is, this still looks like a single-family home and doesn't have 2 separate entrances in the front. I think by adding this door to the left, it gives that second, almost 2-family look, if you will. Now, I did notice, there's a door on the very right-hand side, and that door currently just enters, would just enter the garage?
That's the left.
wait, the left or the
Oh,
right?
That's the left, okay, I got it wrong.
So currently, there's the front door,
Yep.
which I never use, I always go from the garage. The garage currently is not connected to the house, so I have to enter through that door to get to my house right now, and that's why it's there. The breezeway that we said, I have to currently walk out of the
There's
garage.
a side door,
Yep, that side door,
right, and I guess what I'm saying is okay, well anyways, you answered my question. So, the door's not currently there, but the plan that you're presenting us is adding a second front door. And that
Well-
second front, hold on, that second front door, would not take you directly up to the EFLA, or would?
no, the one right next to, as I'm looking at the plan to the right, it does not take you up to the EFLA.
And it just takes you into the garage?
That would take you into the garage, and there's 5 steps that lead up to the current house. You'd walk into the house.
Okay,
Which
but
is,
how would you get to the EFLA going in that door?
you can't, you
You
would have to go into the kitchen, into the living room, go up the other stairs, so
Couldn't-
that,
Couldn't you go in, if you go in through that door, you go to the garage, and then you're taking the stairs up the garage, from the garage?
There's a set of stairs in the garage up to the EFLA.
yes,
On the left side.
So,
yeah, on the left-hand side.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that door
So you're gonna walk through the
still goes
garage
both.
to get to those stairs.
Yeah.
Yes, like
And I
hopefully.
guess what I'm saying is, my feeling is there should be a door on the side, on the left side of the house, that just take you right to those stairs, and not into the garage.
There also is, if you look on the plan, there is a door on the side, too.
Well, that's this one, right?
Here.
Okay, that's what that's what I
Yep.
thought.
So
So to
there's-
me, that's the one we want. We don't want the one next to the garage on the right. But
Okay.
that's just a comment more than a
I
question.
think you just put it there because it's already
and
there.
currently, okay, I think I've asked my question.
Wait a minute, but I
Go-
do
go
have
ahead,
one
Corinne.
question. If we remove that door, then the people who are in the main house would have to come out the garage and go all the way in the front door.
Yes.
So right now, they come out of the garage and go in that side door
Right.
into the house. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Right, but why can't that door just be gone? If you go in the garage, there's an entrance into the main house.
There's, well,
Is there,
there's a door there's a door there right now. All he did is he moved the door further down the steps then, because right now it's, as in the plan, you can see the door. You open the door up, there's the 5 steps, and then there's the door that leads into my current house. So right now, it looks just like that, except there's no door there.
Right.
The door is 5 steps up.
right, but what John is saying is, once the construction's done, could people park in the garage? And is there a door inside the garage to
Yes.
the right?
So that's what he had planned to do, is if you park in the garage, go in through the door from the garage
Okay,
and go up the stairs and go into the house.
okay, so
Yeah.
you could remove that second door then?
Technically, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You could you could technically remove it. Right
it's-
now, you can't, because that's the only way I
Right,
get
yeah,
in
we
and
get
out.
that.
Right,
But-
right. It's hard to visualize the difference
Right.
between what's there now and what's going
Right.
to be there in the
Yes.
future. Thank you.
Any more questions from the board? All right, I'll go out to the public on this. 1 Prentice Road. Okay, nobody, all right.
Mr.
Oh, I'm
Bradstreet.
sorry. He does? Oh. Did he? I thought he did, but are you just trying to get Brian in trouble, or? Well, I think I did go out to our planning director to get clarification on our EFLA bylaw. I'm pretty sure it states, we desire not to have 2 front doors.
Yeah, it's one of the regulations, just like
One of the
750
regulations. Yeah, it's
square
one of the
feet has to be
boxes
in a
we
single
want
family,
checked.
you know, yeah.
And I think to date, I can't remember any we've allowed. Maybe 1. And it was one that was already built, and we didn't want to make them tear it down. I can remember it vividly.
This is already built.
This is not built yet.
Yeah, it is. Isn't that door's already there?
Yes.
Yeah. But it's an open door. It's not an actual door. It's a breezeway.
But it's the door that I used to
All
go
right,
into my house.
if there's no more questions, I will turn it over for deliberations, and I think I started with you, Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I'm struggling with this. So The reason in our bylaw that we have shared spaces is because we're trying to avoid illegal apartments. And so when a space is completely self-contained with its own entryway and it has no shared resources between the two families, you won't use it as an illegal apartment, but the variance stays with the property forever. And maybe the next people who own the house would turn it into an apartment. So that's our hesitation, that's why the utilities are shared, that's why space is trying to be shared. So that's why we're struggling with this, so. I guess I would approve this. I'm not real happy with it, but the space is over the garage, this is what she has to work with, so. I guess I would be a yes on this, hesitant yes.
Kim?
I'm okay with it. Now that I know that that door goes from the EFLA into your home now, I don't know, it almost kind of works as a shared area for me. So, and the other thing I would mention is, I know you talked about an elevator. You could take those stairs out on the left and put an elevator there, if you had to at some point, right?
That's the way I get up to the EFLA, though.
I'm saying if you needed an elevator at some point,
It's,
take the stairs out, put the elevator in.
and
You
not
don't
have,
necessarily have to put it where that other doorway was.
right, but then, I mean, if
is
there's
now.
no, like, electricity, or you're kind of stuck up there. If there's no.
You need stairs.
Anyway,
Hold on,
Yeah,
let's deliberate.
I will vote for this.
Ken J?
Trying to solve the problem.
Yeah, that shed, that door in between in between the EFLA and the rest of the house is, that to me is, quasi shared type of thing. So, I mean, at least there can be a nexus for transit in between, so I'm good with this.
Thank you.
Corinne?
I'm actually a no on this. I just don't like the design. I don't like the fact that there's no shared space. I think your architect could have done a better job after reading the bylaw to try to comply with it. So I'm not a no forever. I'm just a no as to this particular design.
Thank you, Corinne. I'm also a no. I don't like the fact that it has a second front door. I think you can do something else. And I'm with Corinne, I'm not against the project per se, but I think maybe just try going back to the drawing board and try to work with your design or your architect. And, I mean, for me, I want to see that second front door removed. I
So-
think you can do that.
Okay,
And I'm okay with it being slightly oversized. We've had oversized EFLs in the past. The shared space for me, again, that's kind of a gray area. But, and I can appreciate you wanting to stay in your home and planning for the future potential elevator. And I think there's, as Ken has mentioned, I think you have options there as well. So maybe just sharpen the pencil a little and come back.
sure.
But what would you like? You don't have the votes currently.
Okay,
We can continue this to the first of the year. Our next meeting is January 8th. If you need more time than that, we can push it out till
it should be fine.
the next meeting after that would be January 22nd.
Yeah, January 8th is fine. So basically, would I be telling the architect just to get rid of that other door in the front?
Well, I think that's where I'm at, and
Yeah,
Corinne,
and see if he can do some sort of a redesign so
to get a
that,
common area
yeah, so that you have
established. It
common
could be
space
storage, it could
and-
be anything.
Would it be could I use the common area on the second floor between my kitchen and their bedrooms, like that area there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to him what he wants to design, but some sort of like a shared space.
Okay, because we could.
I mean, again, we point to laundry rooms a lot because that
Right,
is usually something that both units, if you will, the EFLA and the main house, are typically using, and they have entrances from their units to get to that. In
okay,
your case, it doesn't work because of where your current laundry is.
I
So-
Right.
I can tell you that you could definitely sell your daughter on having laundry on
I know.
the second floor. It's really nice.
yeah.
It's really,
So
really
I think the
nice.
point is here.
She'll have me doing her laundry, that's a problem.
I think rework this plan, and, I would ask, though, we got the holidays here and the new year, we would need updated plans, I guess it would be by Tuesday, January 2nd,
January 2nd.
so
But
it can get out to us in time to review it for the 8th.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
So,
And if the architect doesn't have enough time for that,
you
then
can continue again if you're
You
not
mean
ready.
December 22nd?
just send us an email
Nope,
to...
January 2nd.
Oh, January 2nd.
Yep, for the January 8th meeting. Okay?
okay, perfect.
Could I get a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we move this, continue this case until our meeting of January 2nd.
January 8th.
January 8th, I'm sorry.
Plans in by January 2nd.
Plans in by
I'll
January 2nd.
second that.
I've got a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Good
Okay,
luck.
we'll see you on the 8th. Thank you. Ready? Give me 1 second.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last case is 225 Conant Street. This is zoned R2. Request for a finding under Section 3.11 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaw to expand a non-conforming building on an undersized non-conforming lot. Request is made by Stephen and Christine Peroni, docket 23-5056.
Hi, good evening.
Hi,
I believe we just had your neighbor in here.
you did.
Tell us what you'd like to do.
The scope of our,
For the record, you are,
Christine Peroni,
and your address.
225 Conant Street.
Thank you.
So we would like, we're going to propose a demo of our existing carport. In its place, we're going to put a garage addition with a second floor living space attached to the primary structure. Looks exactly like this. It has a single-car garage. The second floor will consist of a living room, bathroom, and a bedroom. 510 square feet.
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
510 square feet.
Okay. And what is the relief you seek?
We are requesting a finding because we are expanding on a pre-existing non-conforming building on an undersized non-conforming lot.
Anything else you want to tell us?
That's all I got.
Very good. We'll start with you, Corinne.
I actually have no questions on this one, thank you.
Wow. I mean, Ken, Jay.
So, I thought I read that you're keeping the same setbacks?
So our left-hand side and our rear setbacks are in compliance. Our front setback is what is non-conforming, that the expansion will be on the same plane as the home, which is 21 feet.
Yeah, so it's gonna be the same front
Yes.
as the existing.
Yes.
And then the frontage of the rest of that's in line with the rest of the neighbors, right?
Yes.
I have no other questions.
Thank you. Ken Scholes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So it's just a one-car garage and one single door next to that.
Yes.
Good job on the plans, Bob. It's very,
Thank you.
very well done. Thank you. That's all, the only question I had.
Jeff.
I have no questions, Mr. Chairman. I went out and saw the lot, and
Yeah.
Makes sense.
makes sense. Everything makes sense.
The only thing I wanted to know is, this roof height looks like it's a little larger than what your neighbor's doing, or maybe you don't know what your neighbor's doing.
So
I'm
our-
just wondering what that height, that peak is.
So our neighbor chose to do single-level living space. We chose to add a garage
Yep.
and put the living space on top, and it was for aesthetic, but also cleanliness. You know, we all have snow blowers and shovels and lawnmowers, and,
Sure.
you know, without the garage, it goes in the yard.
And do you have the height of that roof to the midline?
Yep, it's 20 feet, 5 inches.
That's to the peak or the midline?
That is to the peak.
20 foot, 5 inches.
So
Okay,
that's
and that's fine.
probably 15-ish.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, 15 and change.
All right, I have no other questions, and you said it was just over 500 square feet
Yes.
of living space, correct?
No, so that, the footprint is 17 by 30, which would be 510, so the actual living space is around 480.
Okay, and a single car, and there'll be access from the garage to the second floor?
Yes.
Okay,
So, yes, well, you would go into our first floor, and then you would come back up.
there'll be a set of stairs in the
Yes.
main house that'll take you up to, okay.
Correct.
I have no further questions. Anybody here would like to speak on 225 Conant Street? Yeah, come on up. Just identify yourself and ask your questions or make your comments.
Hi, I'm Jean Duffel, and my husband and I, John, live at 233 Conant. And we are also in a non-conforming lot, non-conforming house. We're too close to the street. And we're just here to support Chris and Steve because they're great neighbors, and we would hate to lose them and see what would come in next.
And
But
you're in favor of this project?
absolutely in favor of it.
Very good.
And also the Splains are at 227?
223, I think it was.
No, going towards us.
Oh, yes.
They have an EFLA, and their roof height is very similar to what they're proposing.
So very
I don't know
modest.
the exact roof height of their EFLA, but they have a second floor. Yeah.
Right, not out of place.
No, it is absolutely not out of place.
Very good. Well, thank you. We like
Thank
hearing
you.
from the neighbors. Thank you. Anyone else on 225 Conant Street? Okay. I believe I started with no question, Colleen. We will deliberate.
I will vote for this. I like the design, so I agree with Ken, and
Thank you.
I would vote for this.
Thank you. And Jeff? Sorry, Ken.
I'll vote for this, too.
Thank you.
And my other Ken.
I will vote for this. I think this is going to look great. Good design.
And now Jeff.
I will vote for this. It looks great.
I do. I see this as a very modest addition, and you're real close to ice cream, so.
Yeah.
Must be good.
Yeah, thank you.
Probably don't like all the traffic in the summer, maybe.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, we really love the school. Our daughter loves
Yeah,
the school. That's
good.
what's important, so.
Okay, could I get a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move to issue a finding under Section 3.11 of the Danvers Zoning Bylaw to expand a non-conforming building on an undersized non-conforming lot, where the addition will still be in non-conforming with respect to front setback, and that the extension or enlargement is appropriate in scale and mass for the neighborhood.
I'll second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very
That's
much.
it. Very good.
Good luck,
Good luck
guys.
with your project.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
This was an excellent presentation. you
Yeah,
put
I like
together.
that.
Very good.
Very nice.
If there's nothing else from our captain?
I make a motion that we adjourn, Mr.
Yeah, motion to adjourn. And second, all in favor?
Aye.
Happy holidays and good
Good night,
night.
Danvers.
Good night, Danvers.
See you next year.
See you next year.
Look at that. We got out in an hour.
That's good for us.
I feel
Thank you for the candy.
a little bad for that.